You know, there must have been truth in the words that she said, 'cause every little word got stuck in my head. Nighttime brought me the starry sky, philosophically I don't know why. Allow me to introduce to you Eve Keneinan. I came across her on Deconverted Man's video the other day, where she jumped in the comments. And, well, to me it was a spurious claim. Well, not really even a claim. What she did is basically say the burden of proof doesn't exist. Well, I'd like to go over that. Let's check it out. If you are receiving this card, you have just made a positive claim about where the burden of proof lies. Probably something along the lines of, the one who makes the positive claim has the burden of proof. Since you have just asserted this claim, I assume you hold it to be true. And since it is a positive claim about the nature of the burden of proof, it is now your responsibility to prove your claim by your own principle. Please proceed. I'll wait. If you refuse to prove your claim that the burden of proof lies on the one who makes the claim, then you are a hypocrite, and I decline to abide by an arbitrary rule of yours which you do not hold yourself to. I see no reason why I should accept a rule as obligatory for me, when you reserve the right to ignore it even as you attempt to impose it on me. I note the obvious. Citing memes, Wikipedia, or other authorities are appeals to authority, not proofs. And just repeating your claim over and over is an ad nauseum fallacy, not a proof. Well, it doesn't seem too hard to address, but it has to make sense in some context. Number one, a positive claim, A, is made. Number two, a skeptic, B, ask the positive claim maker, A, to prove it, citing the burden of proof requirement. Number three, the positive claim maker, A, diverts the above, asking the skeptic, B, if they can prove the requirement of the positive claim maker, A, to satisfy the burden of proof, introducing a reverse burden of proof. Isn't this simple enough? I mean, should there be no burden of proof requirement on the one making a positive claim? A? And if so, why not? This is a common sense issue. Anyone could claim anything. And we'd all have to blindly accept it as true if there were no reason to ask people making the positive claim, A, to prove B. If we consider claiming positively that positive claims require a burden of proof, C, we can prove that simply by illustrating why this is so. And I think I got an idea for a demonstration on it. But the only reason that I can think of is to introduce a red herring thrown at B by someone disgruntled over the fact that they carry a burden of proof claim. Burden of proof positive claim when positive claim making. They carry that burden of proof. And then they wrongly think that they have some sort of a clever way out of their obligation by introducing the red herring, C. that being said, my reaction to your demeanor is that you're trying to block skeptical arguments by refusing to concede the skeptic anything about methodology. I'm mainly using your blogs on how you address the burden of proof. But now I'm not trying to go just off your comments and the other video. But I just wanted to break it down and keep it in the context that it should be in. I'm guessing that if the skeptic appeals to some methodological principle, you'll just bring out what I've heard once called the old philosopher's trick and demand that methodological principle be applied to itself and proved. That's pretty, I dare do say it, nefarious. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you just misunderstood it, but you claimed also to be a philosophy teacher. Bad juju. Okay, it may be possible to prove some methodological principles by appeal to a higher science in Aristotle's sense. The principle about burden of proof is not a factual claim, at least not an empirical claim. If it's going to be supported, it will be supported from principles higher than it is. Eventually, in any inquiry, you reach basic laws of thought that are so basic we have to take them as axioms. They cannot be proved by appeal to anything more fundamental than they are. For example, the principle of non-contradiction or law of excluded middle. You can't argue for them without already using them. I'm sure you're familiar with this issue. So a justification may lie in the domain of what Aristotle tries to get at, referring to his first philosophy, an inquiry into principles that are basic for the various sciences, which themselves use the principles, rather than establish them as principles. Douglas Walton, who works on informal logic and fallacies, distinguishes a burden of proof from a burden of casting doubt. The person who asserts a claim that P or not P faces a stiffer burden than the person who merely casts doubt on that claim. Skeptics like to inhabit the easier position of casting doubt. You're trying to take that position away from the skeptic by saying that what Walton calls the burden of casting doubt. For example, showing that it's rational to reject a claim as not proved. That kind of collapses into a burden of proof. But the skeptic isn't arguing, no, you said P, but it's really not P. The skeptic is only saying, I am not convinced that you have proved your case. That's it. Well, that's all I gotta say. So, for instance, I claim that I'm going to pocket the 8-ball in the side pocket. Now, if I pocket this ball, you'll give me $100. If I don't pocket it, you're free of your obligation. So, do I have to prove it? It's that simple. No, I don't have to. Give me $100. I can do it. There. That's the burden of proof. It's that simple, and it comes down to that. I don't know where you get the idea that someone making a claim doesn't have that burden of proof. Yeah, you try and turn it around and say that, no, I don't have to abide by it. No, just give me $100 then. Yeah, that's not the way it works. It really doesn't.